All right, greetings and welcome to the post-match presser. With me up here is the Zimbabwe head coach, Justin Sammons. We can get going.
Coach, how do you move on from a defeat like that?
Yeah, well, you've got to take your learnings. Obviously, there's massive learnings. If we look at it, I think there's probably only 3 of our starting 11 that have played in India before. So for 8 players, it's the first time. You know, it's completely different conditions, grounds are smaller, so there's massive learnings that the group will take. We take those learnings and we look ahead to the next game. You know, we've come here looking at one game at a time, and nothing's going to change. The next game is our focus now, and we park the disappointment, we take the learnings, and we move on.
Can you just talk me through how different it was playing in India to what you've experienced in Sri Lanka the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, certainly, I think, you know, from a boundary size point of view, I think it's probably one of the biggest differences. I think a lot of those, you know, a couple of mishits will go for 6, they'll be out in Sri Lanka. I think that's a big difference. Obviously, the ball comes onto the bat a lot better. So certainly, I think that's probably the biggest difference. And for Zim, you know, a lot of the cricket over the last couple of years has been played in Harare, and Harare is a really big ground. So again, it's good learning at the end of the day. You know, we take those lessons, we move on. Yeah.
Coach, you moved to Chennai from here, where the ground is slightly bigger than this. So do you feel that you'll still have some form of advantage having played in Sri Lanka on similar sized grounds? And your last match is in Delhi, where the ground is similar to here. So can you take lessons from here to possibly the last game where you can put in a much improved performance?
Yeah, I think we know the way India is going to come out, and it's going to be very similar to the way West Indies approach their innings. You know, they're not going to hold back. So there'll be good learnings from that, and how we deal with that. You know, under pressure, in the moment, how do we stay calm and just think on our feet, and also just try and change things up a little bit, disrupt the rhythm of the batters. I think we were a bit, you know, if I can say, predictable. I think we can be a little bit smarter in that regard. Yeah, so obviously, like you say, Chennai will be a bit bigger, and it probably will be a little bit more at ease in that aspect there, you know. Not only with the ball, but also with the bat. I think we shifted away from the process that sort of we've tried to stick to, and we got unstuck through that, I think, you know. So I think we'll be a little bit more comfortable, but we know India are going to come out playing, so there's good learnings there, and then obviously we can move to Delhi from there, yeah.
Coach, just a word or two on blessing Mustabani's World Cup, one of the leading wicket takers. Just what makes him such a threat in the power play with all those dot balls and wickets in the back end? Just a bit on him.
Yeah, he's been brilliant for us. Obviously, he's coming back from an injury, so it was, you know, it's so good to see him come back and sort of hit the ground running. I think it's given him a lot of confidence. But you know, his natural attributes in terms of his height, that's most definitely his biggest strength. And then I think he's been really good in the control of his length and his line. So he's not given the batters too many sort of free, easy boundary balls. If they looked for the boundary, there's an element of risk that they've had to take. So I think he's been really good there in that regard. And then at the end, obviously, he's stuck to his strengths really, you know, and it's worked in his favour. It could have been different even today. What was it, the 4th over, when Hetmeyer got dropped? You know, that was off blessing. They would have been 28, maybe 29, 27 for 2. You know, and he would have picked up that wicket in the power play, and then, you know, they're 2 down. We all know the way the game works, and no one drops him on purpose, obviously, but it does have an effect on the game.
Coach, towards the end, if you kind of take the result out of it, there was a nice little battle between an outright fast bowler and Shamar Joseph and Brad Evans, who was hitting it all over the park. You can just park the result and look at that contest on its own. How is that? And a word on Brad Evans' batting.
Yeah, so I think, you know, we've got to look for small wins in games like this. We've got to take those small wins. It's the first time we're in a Super 8 stage. No one really gave us a chance to be here. So whatever happens out there, it's a great experience regardless, you know, and we've got to make sure we're taking that on board. And that's a great experience for Brad. I think he'll gain huge confidence from that with the bat. He's worked really hard on his batting, and and obviously he hasn't yet had a chance to sort of show what he's got. So, you know, there's a huge positive in that, and I think it also will translate through the rest of the team. They've seen, you know, okay, Brad can do this. Hold on a second, yeah, we can still go out there and compete in the next few games. You know, if we bring our best, we've always got a chance. So, not only confidence for Brad, but also for the rest of the team in seeing how he went about it, and yeah, it was really good to see. You know, yeah.
Coach, I think your fast bowlers did a very good job in the beginning, and then kind of things fell off. But when West Indies scored 250, what was your message in the dugout during the interval?
Yeah, so you know, you still got to believe that you could go out and chase it. That's the bottom line. You can't go out there thinking, oh well, the game's over. So it was really a message around, you know, we can do this. We just try to follow the same process, which I said I don't think we really did. But yeah, and enjoy it. Enjoy the challenge. Have fun out there. You know. Again, we're here when no one gave us a chance to be here. So go and enjoy the moment. That was sort of the message.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.